because if we're talking about winning, I don't think Joker is in the conversation. But I do understand that. What Joker is doing in terms of Joker's production. I mean, you can't match.
Well, and winning, chill, and winning. Don't just say winning and then not include they're winning. It's just they're not winning at a historic rate.
Actually, they're not winning because if you go back,
they're 41-23. They quite literally have a winning record.
100%. They're 41-23,
and they're a top 3 seed. So like that means they're winning. Chill, just for context.
I'm glad you brought that up because I was doing some homework on your boys. Did you know that your boys 1-7 against the East, top 5 seeds?
I know
1-7. Well, I do know that.
Don't say nothing about the Knicks no more.
That's what I was going to say. The Knicks of the West.
Yeah, the Knicks of the West. I know.
So 1-7 against the East. Not only 1-7 against the East, 2-4 against the West. So that's 3-11 against the top 5 seeds. So when we talk about winning, no, you guys are not winning. You're not beating the better teams.
No,
in the league.
chill. Just for content.
Now, don't get me wrong.
They are.
What I'm not going to argue.
You're wrong with your semantics.
No, I'm not wrong with my semantics. What I'm not going to argue. You are beating the teams that you're supposed to.
3 minutes in the show, Chad. 3 minutes.
No. But chill. If you're going to say what you're going to say, at least be correct. They are winning. They're just not beating top end competition. Is what you're saying.
Well, what he started off by saying was, if we're talking about winning, then Jokic isn't in the conversation. And compared to Shea, respectfully. He ain't winning.
But there wasn't comparison.
But Morris, it's still a conversation.
That's what the MVP conversation is. In terms of winning, it's not a conversation.
But I don't think anybody's comparing their winning resume though. In any MVP vote I've listened to, talked to, no one's comparing the winning between the two players because that's just not gonna. It's not even a conversation. It's not.
That's what he said, and you argued.
No, because the Nuggets are Mars. The Nuggets are a top 3 seed, so they obviously are winning. They're not winning at a historic rate.
That they're supposed
to beat. Said word for word in terms of winning is not a conversation. You argued for 2 minutes and then said,
"I'll go back."
Well, no one really talks about the winning because in terms of winning, it's not a conversation. He just said that, and you
no, Mars, just stay out of it. Could I know? Because that's not what was said. That's quite literally not what it was said. In terms of winning, both players are winning, but one of them is winning at a historic rate, which is already the distinction that has been made for the last several months.
The other player is beating the teams that they're supposed to beat, but they're not beating the better teams in the league. That's what's going on.
Yeah, there's a difference between them.
Which goes back to my original logic that the one. 100%. No, see,
there is.
I'm not trying to hit us.
That's what the story of the year has been. Just to be clear.
Let me ask you a question. When you won the NBA championship, was Joker on the team?
Of course he was.
Was Aaron Gordon on the team?
Ask questions. Aaron Gordon was a better, healthier version of himself. Yes. 100%.
Okay, Aaron Gordon was on the team. No question about it. Christian Brown was on the team.
Jamal
Murray was on the team.
And he came
Michael Porter. Well, and I'm glad you brought that up because he's actually better now. He's actually better.
But they're worse as a team
2 years ago. And why is that?
Because their defense is significantly worse.
So in terms of roster,
they have more issues in their personnel.
So in terms of your roster construction, the core that was there that won the NBA championship is still there.
The core has not been as good, and the core has also been injured off and on throughout the year. And the core is also playing worse defensively than it did at that point. And the core had worse defensive players around it.
That doesn't have
which is why I've said I'm answering your question if you just stop yapping. Which is why what I said that they're probably not going to make it out of the second round. Literally 2-3 weeks ago.
I just want to get this off real fast.
Go ahead, John D.
So, quick question. There's been some complaints about the MVP discussion around the Twitter space. You know what I'm saying? And as I've been listening to this MVP discussion, I haven't heard a case for either one of your players. All I've been hearing about is the team success and the team around it. I mean, I came in a little late, so maybe I'm off, but I haven't heard this is why SGA should be the MVP. This is why
talking to you specifically.
Jokic. Either one of you.
John, we've had this conversation.
He's basically saying stop screaming at each other in debate.
Well, no, this is an isolated conversation. So John D, I don't know whatever.
I'm just saying. I want to hear. I
don't know where your circle is. There have been. I
want to hear the
conversations for. We're not even in that segment, John D. Just sit on the bench and wait. Chill.
We're in the winning conversation segment.
Yeah, that we're in the
thing is, speaking of conversations and people actually debating and not just screaming on each other and people sitting on the bench. First off, Swiper, you might see John D soon in the PCL. Second off, are y'all ready to see the bracket?
Oh, yes. We're seeing the bracket right now.
I got the bracket. Do y'all want to? No, not at this moment. Probably at the top of the hour.
It's full enough to show y'all the bracket today, so don't even
go. Just yapping. Oh, I got you.
I might make y'all wait to the second hour, maybe the third hour, but we got the bracket if y'all ready to see it.
Don't fall for this, y'all. Don't buy into it.
You just said you're gonna not show.
Ox, this is your man, so you know him better than we do.
Chill. I'm trying to tell you, Chill. Do not engage.
Don't involve myself in this.
Do not engage.
Okay, I won't get involved in this.
Fellas, I do want to ask this question though. So obviously we got somebody who, and they're both winning and they're both putting up crazy numbers.
One of them is winning at a historic rate. It's not
one's winning at a historic rate, but Swiper, I'm glad you said that because one is putting up numbers at a historic rate. Which one do you guys value more? Well, both are winning and both are putting up numbers at historic rates.
Well, you're asking, but you're asking a question that Chill already said that winning matters to him, which is why he would have SGA. Ox has said this already. Mars has said who's having the best season. John D. has
I just want to be clear that if it's just significant.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. If it's a significant gap, I think we have to go. I think we have to put that in. But I mean, the Nuggets. It's not like the Nuggets are just losing games. The Nuggets are winning games too. We can. I mean, it's been brought up that they might be the Knicks of the West. That they don't really beat anybody significant. But I mean, you got to play who's in front of you. You know what I'm saying? A win is a win. You know what I mean? But I just wanted to say that though, Swiper. Like I think Jokic is one. I think they're winning enough for him to be MVP. I don't think that's really too much of a hindrance.
Well, they're going to win. The question is they're going to win 53 plus games probably this year. So the question is going to come down to how much will that matter ultimately? Because I think the Thunder are probably going to win 67 possibly or something like that.
65 plus games.
65 plus games. Okay. But will that, and then it depends on like tonight, for instance, if tonight happens and let's say Jokic has a similar game to Friday, that's going to shift a lot of narrative. Like obviously that's just the way it works. Like narratives are part of the story.
I don't think he had a bad game yesterday, if I'm being honest with you.
Well, I think he was
good yesterday.
I think he was on pace to have a great game. And then I think he hurt his elbow, and then I think everything went from there. Again, I don't know if people agree with that or not, but he was 6 of 11, and then he was 4-12 the rest of the game. So, and he couldn't hit a jumper. So I don't know. But yeah, I think the winning stuff matters. But I think everybody up here has already declared their MVP for the most part.
Except
for John D.
I haven't.
No,
John D hadn't been up here.
I want everybody to restate it though. So, Chill, we're gonna start with you. Who you got?
Sure. I think SGA is the league MVP this year. They got the best record in the league when it matters to me. He's leading the league in scoring. He's been leading the league in scoring for the majority of the season. On the defensive side of the ball, he's been elite. He's averaging almost 2 steals a game, which is top 3 in the league. He's only missed.
How important are steals, Joe?
How important are steals? I think steals are very important. Not everybody that leads the league in steals or are top 3 in the league in steals do not play defense. There's plenty of guys who are steals leaders that play defense. And SGA is one of those guys who also plays defense. So I think that matters. He's missed 1 game this season, and 1 game that he missed, I think they lost. But so he's missed 2 games. I thought he only missed so he's missed 2 games.
And they have the second best record in the league.
The other game he missed was the other night against Portland.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That was the game. That was the other game that he missed. So he's playing at a historic rate. He's averaging 35 and 5. Only 2 other guards have done that. That includes not 2 other guards. I'm sorry, 3 other guards who have done that. That's that won the league MVP. That's Curry. That's James Harden. That's Jordan. He's playing at an all-league defensive level, which means he's elite on both sides of the ball. He's largely one of the main reasons why this team is as good as they are offensively is because of him. And I didn't expect them to win at the rate that they're winning this year. The reason why they're doing that is because of him. They rely on him heavily on offense and on defense, even though a lot of you guys discount his defense because of the other guys that they have. But I think he's an elite defender. So with all of that being said, I think SGA is the league MVP this season.
All right. Big Ox, MVP, talk to us.
Mm-hmm. I've had SGA for the majority of the year. I want to say since probably early November, we start talking about. I think I had SGA. Jokic has been putting up some amazing numbers, and I mean we just seen that 30, 20, and 20. I just don't think he's done enough for me to come off of SGA though. So I'm gonna stick with SGA for the time being. It'd have to be a crazy 5 weeks for me to change my mind. So I got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander as the MVP of the NBA.
All right. Okay, you got Shai. John, who you rocking?
Yeah, except for DeMontis. You right, Carlton. I got DeMontis name mine.
At the moment, I don't know. and I thought I'd be able to make a pick before it came to me. But you know what? I'm gonna just go SGA. Maybe in 10 minutes, I'll be like Jokic is the MVP, and then another 10 minutes I'll pick SGA. But
John, why is this race as close as you think it is?
Because both of these guys are having all-time great offensive seasons. SGA is probably having one of the most efficient 30-point offensive seasons as a guard in NBA history, with Nikola Jokic having one of the greater offensive seasons, not only as a big, but as a player in NBA history. So the fact that both of them are impacting both of their teams at this high of a level to where these teams don't look half as good as they are when they're not on the floor, that needs to be talked about. How the Denver Nuggets look like one of the best offenses in the league with Jokic on the floor and the worst offense in the league without a question with him off the floor. How SGA makes this team look fringe playoff worthy when he's off the floor to one of the best teams in the league when he's on the floor. I don't have the exact numbers, but both of these guys are uplifting to their teams to the point where these are the two clear MVPs, you know? So 1 minute when Jokic is dropping 30, 20, and 20, I'm like, it's going to be hard to take the MVP from him. And then one night when SGA is having 50 points on extremely well efficiency, it's like, it's going to be hard to take the MVP from this guy. So I flopped on the MVP for like the past every 3 days. Every 3 days. So
well, my question to you is if you flip-flop, that means that Joker has been consistent this entire season. But the entire season, there has not been any drop-off on any point that he's not been consistent. Has he been consistent the entire season? Have we seen any fall off from SGA? Because I don't remember seeing SGA. Yes. I don't remember seeing SGA have any lulls in what was going on. Yes. I feel like SGA I feel like this entire season, SGA has been not only at the top of the scoring, not at the top of the leaderboard as a scorer, but I also feel like he's been, to your point, the most efficient. So I don't get when he gives me 35 or when he gives me 29. I don't get 11 for 32 nights from him. I don't.
Yes.
Win, swipe it, win.
Yeah. So the streak, that period versus when they played the Wolves, there was like a 6 or 7 game period where he wasn't scoring as like high efficient as he was, but that scoring varies. Like that's for a guard. Guards do that stuff. Yesterday, he wasn't great either. By the way, going into the fourth quarter, I think he had 32 on 29 shots or something like that. Like he wasn't hitting his shots, but primarily because of the jumper, like, which again always varies. So yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean SGA.
So the separate. So what is this? So what is the separator between these two? So in my estimation, the separator has to be winning, because considering what SGA how has SGA impacted his crew winning? Because I can appreciate Joker, who I've seen him get neutralized. Right, I've seen Joker get neutralized. I have yet to see SGA get. I've seen Joker get neutralized. I have yet to see SGA get neutralized on both ends of the floor.
What do you mean neutralized? And SGA
we saw the Lakers game. That's what he means. We saw the Lakers
okay.
You're looking at him weird. Like we all saw the game. We watched it.
Neutralized is language. That's interesting to me. Okay. No, I understand.
Why is it interesting, Swiper? He got neutralized.
Perfect terminology.
I don't understand what the problem is. Your man had 12 points. And
you came up here talking about they was playing playoff defense.
What's going on?
Chill. That's nasty though. Chill. That's nasty.
Yeah, I think that. I think using a context where they threw in a defense that quite had never seen before at them. Sure, if you want to say neutralized,
what happened?
Well, yeah, SGA had.
But that's nasty out of you too.
But it was one game. SGA, but you're at. Hold on, because this time out. But you're asking me. You're asking me. Have both of them had periods in which they haven't played up to the normal level? Well, the answer is yes. But if you're saying consistency, like then yeah, like. They both have been wildly consistent this year, and so the issue with the Jokic thing is like even if Jokic's scoring isn't going crazy, it's the playmaking and the fact that he's on the court. The Nuggets typically are having like an elite offensive game, but I mean, it just depends. Like both players have had a very high floor this year in terms of what bad is.
I hate to step in and interrupt this intense yap session that you're currently watching, but I just have to inform you on all the amazing, spectacular, fabulous, endless ways to play and win over at PrizePicks. Basketball fans, I know the season is just tipping off. Yes, I know this. But you know what that means? It means that you have an opportunity to pick your favorite players and their matchups that are the most thrilling, and you can win money from these. With PrizePicks, you can play daily NBA contests and test your hoop knowledge by choosing the player projections and every single stat line imaginable to make your PrizePicks and take home some nice hard-earned cash. Are you a rookie in the game? Don't even sweat it. I got the playbook for you right here. All you have to do is download PrizePicks, use promo code PANEL, and you will get $50 instantly when you play 5. here with PrizePicks. So what are you waiting for? Download PrizePicks, use promo code PANEL, and join me as we break down all of our amazing daily picks right here on the panel. PrizePicks. Run your game, control your game, win your game. It's easy, baby. It's easy.
Both of them.
So what's more important to you, points per game or true shooting?
Well, scoring.
Stop right there, Ox.
Scoring is points per game.
I just want to know.
But it can't be scoring because you just told me that SGA took 29 shots.
Yes,
to get 30.
Meaning that you can live with that through 3
Y'all
quarters.
started laughing like I was trying to clown or something. I'm just asking.
I
want to know what you.
Not the way you asked it was funny to me. It's a fine question.
I just want to know. I'm trying to get around to your you know what I'm saying, your perspective, bro.
There's not a. I mean,
we know
yesterday,
we know how you feel about basketball.
If you're playing yesterday and then you're in a situation where the best player on the other team is shooting that many times and has that many points, then typically you're living with it, is what I'm saying. That's a feasible world. If SJ had like 32 on 18 shots, then you're like getting cooked. Like there's probably like you're and on top of that, the Nuggets that weren't fouling a lot yesterday. SJ had 3 fouls in the first half. Like there are 3 free throws in the first half. Like some of this is just like they were playing, I think, smartly, and they were contesting shots. It just SJ was missing like those step back threes that he's been hitting as of late, and that was the difference in a lot of the game. But then, like I said, I think once Aaron Gordon went out, the whole game changed because the Nuggets didn't have.
That's why I think the game got swung right
there.
Yeah,
he been fine that joint lately. I ain't gonna lie.
Because I felt like you guys had a good flow. The ball was moving. There was real good action, especially around the basket. But when he went out, I didn't think that the ball started moving as much. Mm-hmm. You didn't get as much as you were getting around the rim. And on top of that, which I still can't get a satisfactory answer on that, the Nuggets transition defense is one of the worst that I've seen in the league. And I understand how good Oklahoma City is as an offensive team, but they have a terrible time picking up the ball, slowing down the ball to pick up. I'm watching Alex Caruso get to the rim by the time someone even gets close to him. Like he's already at the rim. Same thing with J-Dub. J-Dub is getting picked up in the middle of the lane in transition. I'm thinking to myself, Jamal Murray, he's supposed to be, as your lead guard, the head of the attack. So he's supposed to be slowing guys down. Only except he's not doing anything. Nothing. And that's your job as the lead guard. I got to slow a guy down at the point of attack. I don't get me wrong, I ain't looking for Drew Holiday or anything like that. But you do have to get in front of guys. And he's done none of that.
Well, I mean, yeah, I think they started off the game playing well in transition. It's just the issue is like that first play Michael Porter had where he blocked it off the backboard for Lou Dort. I mean, they were just playing with a different kind of energy when the game first started. But then I think, as the game went on, I think Murray got blocked at the rim, or Christian did, and then they ran out like 3-on-1 or whatever else. Like, yeah, the Nuggets just don't have the Braun is not like KCP. Again, I know I bring this up. He's one of the best transition guards in the league. And so they just don't have a player that's able to defend consistently in those settings. But I do want to give Michael Porter credit. He did his best yesterday.
Swipe, I need you to start talking more about Christian Braun in terms of his play this season. He's been a lot better than you've given him credit for. A lot better. In fact, I think he should be in the most improved conversation because what he's done, in fact, his scoring total this season, because you said you care about scoring, his production is doubled this season from last year. So with his production doubling from this season last year, on defense, he's actually been really good as a defender, as an on-ball defender. I don't think he's an all-league defender, but I think his closeouts have been good. I think he's been really good at not fouling. I think he's
he had a foul yesterday on a 3.
I mean, a lot of guys foul on 3s, but I think he's been good at not fouling consistently. I don't think you give him enough credit as a defender and just as an overall player. I think he's been really good for you guys. The fact that Aaron Gordon went out of the lineup, I think that's what really screwed you guys up, though. But he's been really good for you guys.
Yeah.
Yo, Morris, we have yet to get who you believe should be the MVP as of right now. Today. Who you got?
I want to start by saying I think based on MVP history, I don't think this race is particularly close. I think SGA, by all measures of MVP history, is probably the clear-cut MVP. I think he has as close to a perfect MVP case as you could conjure up based on just the history of the award. So I think SGA is going to win it. But as someone who have been consistent, I think the MVP just goes to whoever plays the best in the regular season. I think Jokic has played better than SGA. So if I had a vote, I would vote for Jokic. But based on how the MVP award has been awarded historically, I think SGA has the best MVP case we've seen since like 2020 Giannis. So what's that, 5 years? I think he has the best MVP case of the last 5 years based on historical precedent of the award. Elite on both sides of the ball, historical winning. The on-court production in terms of how good his team is with him even exceeds Giannis. He has, I think, the best on-court net rating in NBA history. And then you look at the scoring, the efficiency, the playmaking, the floor raising. So I think SJ has the clearest cut case. So I think SJ is going to win it, rightfully so. But if I had a vote, I would vote for Jokic.
Mars, it's interesting. It's interesting you just bring that up about him having a clear cut case, but Joker plays better. Joker has played better than him. I mean, everything you said suggests that he's been playing better than Joker. But so my question that I ask you is it the fact that Joker's a better player? Is that swaying you?
Well,
because it looks different when you're a better player than another guy. I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to argue the production.
I mean, I think Jokic is having the best offensive season in NBA history. Regular season. I think he's having the best offensive season in regular season history. Rivaled by like 2016 Steph and stuff. But like that's how amazing I think Jokic has been offensively. And although I do think he has regressed defensively from where he was a couple regular seasons ago, I still don't think that brings his value down enough to where I would say he's not playing better than SGA, who in his own right I think is having one of the best regular seasons of the last few years. I spoke about it maybe last week in terms of guard seasons. It's up there in the 21st century. It's amazing. I just think, I think Jokic is a better player who's also playing better. But if Jokic wasn't better but was playing better than SGA, I would still pick him. So it's just.
The reason why
whoever plays the best is my MVP. Like
that's why I'm asking you that, Mars, because a lot of times when you see guys who are better players, aesthetically it just looks better. But when
I prefer watching Shea than Jokic.
Yeah, I think Shea aesthetically looks way better than Jokic.
I do too.
I like a back to the basket type of guy.
I mean, I enjoy watching both of them, but if you ask me what I prefer watching Shea.
But
what do you mean?
I mean, even on top of that though, like Jokic don't really play with his back to the basket all that much.
Yeah, that's not true.
Yeah, he does. Yes, he does, Ron.
Not he does, obviously, in relative to the rest of the league, but he's not. Jokic just ain't on the box all night.
Nobody's on the box all night.
So that's the point I'm making.
I mean, if you want to watch post play, Jokic is the best option.
I get that, but I'm saying like he doesn't.
Right.
Well, he posts up more than anybody else in the league. So
Swiper,
it's just, but they don't specialize in that.
I understand that. I'm just saying, like relative to just basketball, traditional basketball, when you put everything together, he doesn't play with his back to the basket that much. Also, too, Jokic spends a lot of time on the perimeter and in the mid range. I'm not saying he doesn't post up, but Jokic does a little bit of everything. Like I don't just, I know he's big, but I don't just categorize Jokic as a post player because he just
he might post up. He might get more post touches to get more post work than anybody else in the league, but it's still not a lot of.
It's not comparable to what was happening 15, 20 years ago.
Right. So but still, I mean, I do. I mean, remember we talked about that before too. We were breaking down like posts, who has the best post work. I think we were doing him and somebody else. I can't remember. I like Jokic on the block when he gets down there. I like how he's like, real quick for a big fella. You know what I'm saying? He's deceptively quick, good feet. You know what I mean?
And when he makes a good pass.
Yeah. He's nice down there. He's a good basketball player, you know.
When I think about it, to your point, Miles, when I think about a guy playing better, I think about how, again, you are affecting the game. It might not necessarily lead to wins, because not all times, especially when you're dealing with roster construction, to Swiper's point, that doesn't mean that. But you might take better shots. You might be in better position defensively. You might be in better position to rebound. You might be in better position just as a guard or as a big to be successful. And when I think about SGA and I think about what he's doing the most, what he's doing the most this season is he's scoring. Well, a lot of times when you see scorers, sometimes they can be inefficient. SGA does not allow you to speed him up or slow him down. I very rarely see SGA taking bad shots. And I think that one of the main reasons why he's as good as he is this season, since you brought up him being, I'm talking about Joker. Since you brought up playing better, I think that's one of the main reasons why SGA has been affecting winning as much as he's been has been affecting winning as much as he's been affecting winning, because he doesn't play outside of himself. He takes what the defense gives him, and then when he decides to take more than what the defense gives him, he takes it in a way that's going to be successful for him. He's not taking shots where he's got 2 and 3 guys hanging all over him. He's not taking shots at the rim where he knows that he can't score when there's a big guy in there that he can't score over. He plays very much within himself. And then on the defensive side of the ball, I very rarely see him out of position defensively. I very rarely see him, especially in rotations. I very rarely see him not in passing lanes where he's supposed to be. So when I think about a guy playing better, and I equate that to affecting winning, and affecting the game, not affecting winning, but affecting the game. And when I think about what SGA has been doing, I don't think that there's a guy who's affecting the game more.
That just doesn't make a lot of sense. What's SGA? Because if that was the case, then
anything that I say doesn't make sense to you.
Well, no, plenty of stuff. But I guess because I've asked you this before, why would that not? If we're doing that in the MVP conversation and we're doing the winning thing, why then would Tatum and Mitchell not be like higher on the MVP?
I think they should. I'm not arguing that, Swiper. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. Again, I'm not saying that to say that SGA is the only one who's doing that. But the separator, for example, like I just brought up SGA as a bucket getter. Mm-hmm. Well, Jason Tatum, he also affects games, but he plays outside of himself, which can affect the game. SGA doesn't do that nearly as much as Jason Tatum does in terms of shooting the basketball, in terms of scoring the basketball. And I think that affects the game a lot with Jason Tatum. Donovan Mitchell is a prime example yesterday. Donovan Mitchell, he started the game 1 for 5, but Donovan Mitchell's finding
he was not hitting shots earlier either.
But Donovan Mitchell is affecting the game. How I see him finding Dean Wade at the long ball line, how I see him finding Max Strus when he gets in the defense, and I got 2 and 3 guys on me. Instead of shooting the ball, throwing it out to Max Strus, who at that point, I think he had made 3 in a row. Go back to him. I mean, that's the stuff I'm talking about when I talk about affecting the game.
Well, so I'm saying if your logic stays consistent based on how you have given your logic, would you then say that the 3, because they're obviously playing good enough to impact winning at a winning 60 games plus or near whatever?
Sure.
Would you say that the 3 best MVP candidates should come from the team with the 3 best records in the league, in your estimation?
I would say that winning matters 100%. I do say that, and I think Joker is in it off the strength that he's, to Mars' point, he's having arguably the best offensive season ever. I mean, I think 89 Jordan would like a conversation with you, Mars. But with that being said, I do think that, winning matters. And if you're at the top of the league, and unless you're doing something, the reason why Joker is in this conversation, one, they are in the top 3 in the league. That's number 1 in the Western Conference. And number 2, he's having an all-time, this is what is getting him in the MVP conversation. He's having an all-time great season offensively. That's what's getting him in it.
Well, you still haven't answered the question. Would the top 3 be from Cleveland and from the Celtics and from OKC? Would that be your MVP ballot? Because they're winning way more than Joker is, like way more than Joker is. All 3 of them, and they're all the best players in their team.
And then you have exceptions. So to answer your question, no, because you have an exception like what Joker is doing, but they are winning. Denver is winning, and Joker's having an all-time great season. So this would be an exception.
Yo, my thing is, obviously, I've said this plenty of times.
Sure.
I believe that the MVP should go to the best player on the most winning team, especially when you have such an outstanding, like, historically winning season.
Which team?
What is Oklahoma City? Real quick, Ron. I just want to just a question for you, real quick, Ron.
They do.
The Cavs got the best record in the league today. Where's Oklahoma City?
You said most winning team.
Just real. I want you to stay right where you at, Ron. This season, where is Oklahoma City on pace? You just told me. I forgot. I'm sorry. In terms of winning, what are they on pace to win? How many games are they on pace to win this season?
I want to say they're on pace to win 69. Might be 70 now.
Is it that many? Wow. And Cleveland is on pace to win what?
They're on track for 68.
That's pretty impressive.
I'm smart OKC.
Yeah, and Cleveland.
OKC is on
probably.
So I'm saying, like,
69.
In the past, SGA does what he does, and they win 68, 69, 67, 70 games. He's running away with the MVP.
But in the past,
no, he's not.
The
Let me tell you
players
why
that
he's not. Because Michael Jordan. No, that's not true, Ron. That's not true, Ron. Michael Jordan in 1997 won 69 games. Malone won the league MVP that year.
What did Malone do?
That's because MJ had already won 4. To be fair.
Yeah, but that was. Actually, I mean, that was a while ago. Like, I believe SGA is running away with this though. Like, I know we're having conversations and things like that, and I think that 30-20-20 is a very big deal. I think it's because you know how hard it is to get 20 assists. Like, that was a very big deal. I would not try to downplay that or anything. I don't care if they're playing the Suns. I don't care who they were playing against. You know what I'm saying? 30-20-20 is crazy. But I do think SGA has this one in the bag. I will be very, very I will be in complete disbelief if Jokic wins MVP this year.
The last draw poll had SGA having 70 of the 100 first place votes.
That's running away.
I'm fairly confident if they did it again, it would probably be more votes for SGA. Like already a month ago, SGA was running away with it.
Mm-hmm.
I think the gap has got wider. I think SGA is going to win.
You think it's got wider? I think Jokic. So
I
mean, you guys heard what I've been saying. If they get the number 2 seed, that's what.
Well, it don't matter about the seed.
OKC might have the widest gap between a 1 and a 2 seed in NBA history.
And also,
the 2
Jokic might have Jokic might have the widest gap in terms of production between him and the next player behind him. That's what I'm saying. The gap between their winning is the same gap between the production.
They're up 12 games.
And Jokic is beating the shit out of. If we're talking about total production, Jokic is beating the shit out of SGA.
That's not true.
Second. I'm third in the league in scoring.
Production is
I'm third in the league in scoring. I'm third in the league in rebounds at 13. Okay, and I'm second in the league in assists at 10.5. I'm averaging a historic triple-double. Westbrook did it.
Ron, you're arguing against yourself. But you're arguing against yourself right now.
How?
Because you just talk about the most win.
Y'all didn't let me finish my point. Y'all didn't let me finish my point.
Okay, I'm sorry. Keep going, Ron. Keep going, Ron. I'm sorry. Keep going, Ron.
I said traditionally, I would go with the person that is the best player on the team that wins the most. Obviously, I know Cleveland's winning, but OKC's right there. So they're winning at a historic rate. Traditionally, I would do that. Jokic, however, due to what the fuck he's doing this season, 30-20-20s, averaging a triple-double, going ballistic, doing things we've never seen before. And on top of that, how Swiper said, they're winning too. They win 53 games. Jokic puts up a historic triple-double like this. I think I might have to go with Jokic.
When you say doing things we've never seen before, you mean from
we've never seen this
number standpoint?
Yes.
I mean, I've seen Russell Westbrook average 30 points.
Not like this. Not like this. Not like this.
All right, just contrarian for no reason.
But yeah, Russ did
technically do this in 15.
And the triple-double.
That's a strictly number standpoint.
And here's also the thing. Russell Westbrook did it, and they were in what seed were they?
6.
Okay, Jokic is doing it, and what seed are they?
Third right now.
So I'm saying we can't give them losing tax. If we're talking about the MVP, Ron, the most valuable player,
I will say this objectively. I think SGA, in any other traditional standpoint, would win, and I think he probably will win. But I think but again, I feel like I've been consistent about this since y'all met me. I think Jordan should have won it. I think LeBron should have won it in 11. I think Jokic should have won it in 23. I think Jokic should win this year based on how I view it. But if just a clear cut, if you're having a historic season and you win 67 games, I mean, I really don't, at that point, it's just like, it is what it is. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're going to, go ahead.
So you're having a historic season and you win 67 games.
Yeah.
What if, how Mars just said, you're having the best season?
No,
you win 53 games.
I agree. Mars joined that bandwagon a couple months ago. I agree. This is the best offensive season. I'm just playing Mars. Best offensive season I've ever seen in my life relative to Steph Curry 15-16. I think LeBron 12-13. I think Jordan 91 or 89, whichever one of the year you pick. I think obviously Magic in 87 or whatever. Like, there's years. But I think that's the problem. And that for me, Ox, is the biggest thing. It's like, why are the Nuggets struggling this much? And if you have a season this good, you're not winning 60 games. I think that's just because
I just have trouble with the best. I just have trouble with a couple of things you guys are saying. Just like the best season I've ever seen all time. Just like
to be fair, I have a much more smaller scope of seasons I've seen. in my defense.
All right, I mean, no, I understand. All I'm saying is like
3 less than
the number. It's just a little warped, like, but it's okay. Like I'm cool. I'm cool with that.
5 years.
I just wanted to say, like, I hear what you're saying, Ron. I don't think there's much of a gap with productivity between Jokic and SGA. I really don't. On top of that, SGA plays defense.
Well, they're both averaging 1.8 steals a game, to be fair.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. But I mean, so because they average the same amount of SGA's averaging more blocks.
A half a block or whatever.
You were going to leave that out, Sniper?
No, they are averaging the same amount of steals.
Were you going to leave that out?
No, thanks, SGA better rim protector than Joker.
That's disgraceful. That's
I mean, I don't tell you.
That is disgraceful. That right there. So you know what? But
SGA is one of the best rim protecting guards in the league, though.
Like, okay, SGA my MVP now, just for that.
Do you think that their defensive productivity is similar at all in any way?
No, but I've also feel like we talked about this multiple times. I think SGA is a better defender, and he's being aided by a much better defensive cast. I think Jokic. So
if they both had an equal level of supporting cast, who would impact their defense more?
Well, that's the thing. I think SGA would probably, in my estimation, still do it. But I think if the Nuggets had a better defensive floor, the team will be way better. And I would say too, offensively, I don't think the Nuggets have a good offensive cast this year. I think Murray and Porter, and then Braun has become a transition merchant, which is good. Like, he needs to use his skills to do that, and he's an elite cutter. But I think outside of like that, Russ and Julian Strother and Peyton Watson,
just to make sure that you don't side talk me, because I know how you get down.
I'm not.
I'm curious to know, do you think that there's any similarity in the level of productivity on defense if they had a team, if they both had a similar team defense, like both at the same level?
You would still need
who
more.
Elevates their defense more?
You would still need more to protect Jokic. Like, I think that's
so SGA would elevate his defense more.
Yes, but SGA is a guard, though. Jokic is a non-rim protecting big, so he needs more to be adequate and pass on defensive end.
Right. So basically, yes, SGA. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Like the offense isn't that crazy. It's probably
but Mark, I think that's not Mark. That's what I'm saying. It's a difference. So I think Jokic, per this season, has an underwhelming cast. Period, and he's still lifting this team to the best offense ever. Is what I'm saying. Like this,
right. That's fine. I feel you. Like,
I think Jokic, if they had a different type of offense, he would be even better than what he is right now. That's what I'm saying, based on how he's played.
What other offense? What other kind of offense do they need to have, Swiper? They built that offense around Joker's skill set. That's exactly why that offense runs the way it runs.
Remember,
and you just told me that
reason why they're. Go ahead.
You just told me that it's already an historically great offense. So how much better can it be? Is it because he doesn't have
Jokic,
the players in order for it to be already great?
With Jokic on the court, yes, they are. It's the best offense
with
ever.
Jokic on the court.
What I'm saying that, like, Murray and Porter this year, Porter's had a slide obviously recently. I think he played pretty well yesterday. Murray started the year off horribly. Aaron Gordon has been missing for half the year, and then Christian Brown.
Can we just cut the shit, please? Can we just cut the shit?
You did.
All right, look. You cannot be the best player in the world. You're a center at that. You're a 7-foot center. You cannot be the best player in the world as a 7-foot center if we have to protect you on this side of the court because you can't protect the rim. I gotta protect you because you can't protect the rim.
Why? That is
why?
When they figured it out.
Why? Because you want us to call you the best player in the world. You're a 7-foot center, and you have to be protected. They did this when they did this. They had the third best defense in the playoffs to win the title going away. So I don't care. That's not what I'm talking about.
Obviously it works.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Well,
I'm saying you can't be the best player in the world.
We've never had a center archetype like this.
We talk around it, and you guys say, "Oh, well, he's just not a good rim protector." You say that, and that's supposed to be the end of it. Okay, but what about after that? What?
Active hands.
What?
This is what I'm saying. Like, are we having?
If you're a 7-foot center, I have to protect. This is a basketball talk. There is no trolling here. Don't try that shit with me.
I'm trying it today because I'm trying to figure out what is.
And I'm dead serious about the fact that if you are 7-foot
we have
and I have to protect you on the defensive end. No.
Ask you a question.
If I got to protect you on the defensive end of the floor, I don't want to hear this no more. This is crazy.
But I'm saying, Ox, if what. We've never had an archetype like this, though. So Who else would you compare him to historically?
I wouldn't. I'm not comparing him to anybody.
How about Shaq?
No,
How about
Shaq?
How about okay, so Shaq
was the best player. He's trying to make you look right and go left.
I'm not. I'm asking a very direct question.
No, so Shaq was the best player in the world. Ox, did they have to protect Shaq on the defensive end?
No.
Did they have to protect Olajuwon on the defensive end?
Not as far as now, Swiper. Hold on, because in certain aspects, yeah, like when he got caught in that pick and roll with the Kings, of course, that's what it is. That's that. But what I said was, as a 7-foot center, not being able to protect the rim, and we have to protect you because of your lack of ability in the paint.
We've never had a center like this, though.
Never had a center like what?
I see DeMarcus Cousins.
What does that even mean?
Like, we've never had. So Marc Gasol.
If he was elite on the
Marc
perimeter,
Gasol,
or
and then the older Sabonis were two different players. They were two different players.
To say what?
I'm trying, Mark. I don't know why you're just talking.
Keep going, Swiper. Keep going, Swiper.
I'm bullshitting. You're trying to wiggle out of this.
Talking about
we've never seen anything like this. We've never seen anybody.
Can you explain that part, Swiper?
Yeah. What I think is disingenuous about this conversation that we've had 12,000 times is that yesterday that wasn't even the issue. Like, he played well, and especially in the first half. They were playing good defense, and especially with Jokic. But you never say that because you're a casual and you have casual view of how you watch that game.
Yeah.
And so he literally had three. He literally had like 3 blocks at like in that half alone, and like did everything you asked him to do. But then of course Ox didn't say anything because you're probably watching. I don't know. Baddies, baddies, whatever.
You watch that shit. Love Island.
Love Island was a good show. Love Island was a good show. First off, I didn't say Love Island. Love Island was a good show.
Love Island, Real Housewives.
The Love Is Blind reunion came out.
Real Housewives. Real Housewives of Atlanta was good last season, by the way.
Can we get back? Can we get back to the point?
Possibly know that?
I just want to get back to the point, and Swiper's point that we've never seen anybody like this. We've seen guys affect teams offensively. We've seen great offensive players before.
Never. Oh my gosh. And the reason I'm saying it's disingenuous, Jill, you haven't seen one like this, and nor have you had a player that lacks athleticism vertically. I think in the same degree, Marc Gasol was a better vertical athlete and just a better athlete than Jokic was. So was old Sabonis. Both of them were. They both had different bodies and different types. What I'm saying is that Jokic is the most limited in that capacity in terms of an elite player we've ever seen. We've never had a player this limited as a vertical challenger. Never.
That's a bad thing.
I'm agreeing with you, and I'm saying you need more to protect those things. But that's and that Ox, your point would make more sense to me if
you knew ball.
If they had ever put in like an elite defensive personnel around him, and it still didn't work. They did, and then it worked, and then now they don't have that, and their defense is worse. And so I'm saying, if you know that, like, then you need to do what you have to do to fortify the weaknesses. Every player has weaknesses.
Of course.
But when Swiper says that though about Jokic, it becomes this other conversation. I'm saying every player needs assistance on certain things.
No, Swiper. You're taking what I'm saying and you're taking it from like a coaching standpoint or like a roster construction standpoint, right? And you're saying like, well, we have this to protect that. We have this to protect that. I'm saying that the fact that I have to go through all that to protect that is a problem. That's all I'm saying. Like, then you can how can you call yourself the best player in the world? And and that's what I'm standing on that, and I'm standing on that. But what I'm saying is, you're bringing up other guys that you had to protect. But are they the best players in the world?
Yes,
that's what you're talking about.
Shaq. Yes, Shaq. Shaquille.
Yes, but Shaq. Yes. Okay, but when did I have to make sure that there was no dribble penetration or something like that, or bring another?
Could not post 98 or whatever. Shaquille O'Neal versus other guards could not play in space versus other guards.
Okay, that's not what he's talking about. That's not what I'm talking
about. But I'm saying,
Jokic's not being able to play in space. No, that's not even what I'm doing. Okay. I'm explaining to you why what you're saying is bullshit. Because I'm not talking about the fact that Jokic can't. I'm not talking about the fact that Jokic can't defend in space. I know he can't do that. But the fact that you're 7 foot, you can't protect the rim. That's the problem. I don't need my 7 foot.
Did you give him credit for what he did yesterday protecting the rim?
Okay, so this is what I'm saying, Swiper. You said he had you said he had three blocks real quick, right? I'm not going to give him credit for that because the fact that you said, oh, he had 3 blocks, is he a good rim protector now?
No, I'm saying
no. Okay, so what am I giving credit
because
for?
That's what I'm saying. It can't be both. He can't do it and doesn't do it, and then when he does it, you say you don't give him credit for it.
She can't cook this DoorDash some shit the other night. So I'm supposed to give her credit.
We're Euroing another point.
Hey, she found a way around the problem. I don't know what to tell you. She found a way around the problem. Problem solving.
Hey, actually, it depends what she doing.
No, don't do that, Ron. Don't do that, Ron.
That's a valid thing. That's a valid thing.
You better watch it. Chill. Hey, chill. Me, I'm laughing. Shit, I got expensive habits.
That's the problem. I'm understanding where I'm coming from. You know what we can't do? We can't DoorDash every night because that shit gets expensive and it gets the tax.
If she paying for it,
and guess what's gonna happen? We're gonna run out of money.
She's gonna run out of money.
We're gonna run out of money. No,
hey, chill.
And then we're gonna lose.
If she order a lobster, butterfly, shrimp,
same logic with Joker. We're gonna run out of money with Joker. If I'm getting that, I'm not getting that every night from him. I'm not getting that every night.
I think this sounds so dumb because this is the thing. This is what I'm saying. Everybody has admitted this year the reason why the team is not a contender, including Mars. What did you call them on the social clip the other day? You said not a non-serious team. And what were the reasons you said they were not serious, Mars?
Well, I said they're not serious about winning a championship. And the reason they're not serious is the offensive side of it is like they don't have enough players that teams respect to actually guard them and make life easier for the best offensive player in the sport. And then defensively, the scheme that they have found success with, they aren't executing this year. Guys have regressed on defense. So now they're one of the worst defenses in the sport. Whereas before they were solid. And if you have a solid defense mixed with Jokic and offensive pieces, that's a good recipe. They have neither of those things right now, which is why I don't think they're a serious team. That's why.
Sure. I think what's best.
Damn.
I think what's best for me in these conversations is just to ask y'all to give your own opinion on it. Because I think when I'm trying to talk to Ox about it, and I'm asking the question, and Ox won't like that answer, then he moves it to somewhere else. So I've just learned that Joker. For you, it's just not in the best player in the world talking because he has too many deficiencies. But Ox, I'm saying you already don't think he's there. And so I think if you don't think that, that's fine. I would just ask you to present
specifically because of that. That's all. I think
sure, but I'm saying, but who do you feel like? Just answer it directly. Who do you feel like is the best player in the world right now? Is that Giannis?
Today, I would have to say, yeah, I would put Giannis and Shea above Jokic today. Yeah, I would.
You have Jokic.
Giannis doesn't have
Jokic 3.
Yeah, would you have Jokic 3? Because JT right there.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm going. You know,
hey,
y'all know how I feel about
Braun
JT right now.
Injury, boy.
Hold
JT,
on.
Anthony Davis.
Well, AD not around right now. Let's not go too far into this. Let's not go too crazy. Y'all gonna start asking me shit, and I'm gonna have to.
Okay, so we'll stop at JT. We'll stop at 3.
Well, yeah, let's just stop there. Jokic is a top 5 player in the world for sure. No problem.
100%. Top 5 is a good place to be.
But when we got 3 guys in the league right now that are playing incredible defense and incredible offense. It's the player choice way. Them boys don't get it started. The player choice way.